All of us understands the meaning of emergency, but I literally checked the dictionary meaning of the word emergency, and it says emergency is a serious, unexpected, often dangerous situation that needs immediate action. So there are four keywords there. It is serious, it is unexpected, it is often dangerous, and it is needing immediate action. Let's take two examples. Let us say tomorrow my company fires 200 people and my name is also in the list. It is a serious situation, it is unexpected, it is dangerous, and also it is needing immediate action. Second example, I'm going on a road and I meet an accident. It is serious, unexpected, dangerous, and needing immediate action. My point is simple. Emergencies can come in any shape and size. It can happen to you, it can happen to me. Nobody is immune to it. We cannot avoid emergency situations, but what we can do is build an emergency fund that will be our best friend in that emergency situation. Also, this emergency fund will reduce the impact of that crisis and it will convert that crisis to a mere inconvenience. So we all must have emergency fund built for our future security. So how much money we need to build for emergency situations, also called emergency fund? There is a simple thumb rule that I can suggest that you can follow. If you are a single income earning member and you do not have any dependents, like you do not have either husband or wife or your kids or parents who are financially not dependent on you, in that case, multiply your monthly average expenditure by 6. So basically 6 times of your monthly expenditure is what is good enough money for your emergency fund. If you have up to 2 dependents on you, then please use a thumb rule of 12 multiplied by your monthly expenditure. If you have 3 to 4 dependents on you, then please multiply your monthly expenditure by a factor called 18, and then you will have sufficient emergency fund for your planning. However, if you are double income earning family, if you have, for example, husband, wife, both are working, in that case, if you do not have any dependents, then 3 months of emergency fund is good enough. If you have up to 2 dependents, then you should look at 6 months of expenditure as your emergency fund. And if you have 3 or 4 dependents, then you need to look at 9 months of expenditure, monthly expenditure as your emergency fund. Just very quickly, I also want to clarify that dependent here means somebody who is financially dependent on you, right? So for example, if you have your parents, but if your parents are still earning, right? If your father is earning or your mother is earning, please do not count them. They might be dependent emotionally and physically on you, but they are not financially dependent on you, right? So for example, if you have 50,000 rupees of monthly expenditure and you are a single income earning member and you have 2 dependents, then your emergency fund should be 50,000 multiplied by 12. It will come out to be 6 lakh rupees. So you should start to think about building a 6 lakh rupees of emergency fund. The bigger question is, how do you start building it? Because 6 lakhs is not a small amount and you can't just create it like this. Answer is simple, that every month start to build your emergency fund. So for example, every month you can do 20,000 rupees per month. You can save and put it in emergency fund. Then that's great, because it will take you 2.5 years of time to be able to build this entire 6 lakh rupees of emergency fund. But believe me, it is a totally worth exercise, right? Now you may have few questions here. You might say that, Rahul, I'm already doing SIPs of 20,000 rupees. Therefore, I can't really have enough additional money to be able to build the emergency fund. What should I do? My simple answer is that please stop your investments for next 2.5 years in that case and start building your money into emergency fund that I'm going to talk about in a minute, right? You might have another question. You might say that, Rahul, for example, I have a property which is worth 50 lakh rupees. Can I consider that as my emergency fund? My simple answer is absolutely no, because you cannot liquidate your property the moment you need the funds for. So property is not a right solution for your emergency fund. You might have another question that, Rahul, I've already invested my money in a good index mutual fund. Can I consider that as an emergency fund? Again, my answer is simply no, because you will not be able to immediately withdraw this money, because it will take at least 2 to 3 days for you to get the money back. And also please remember that if you have invested your money in index fund and you want to consider as an emergency fund, it might not be giving you 6 lakhs value when you need it to give you 6 lakhs value, because stock markets is absolutely volatile. Consider situations of COVID when many people lost their jobs and they needed jobs, but the stock market was all time low at the time, your value of emergency fund might deplete because of so many other conditions that the stock markets go through. So where should you actually park your money when it comes to emergency fund? My advice is that you please consider any asset class that has 3 criteria fulfilled. Number 1 is your money should be 100% safe, because remember, you are building this money for your emergency, and what you want to make sure is this money is 100% safe money. When you need this money, you have this money, right? Point number 2 is that you should be able to withdraw this money very quickly. No more than 24 hours time. Within 24 hours of time, you should be able to withdraw this money. That is second criteria. And number 3, this money, you should be able to at least generate returns that are equivalent to inflation rate returns, because emergency might happen 10 years down the line. What you don't want is inflation eats this money in the next 10 years of time, and your 6 lakh rupees of emergency fund become 3 lakh rupees or 4 lakh rupees, right? So minimum it should generate you returns that is equivalent to inflation rate returns, right? Now, in my view, there are 2 categories that fulfill these 3 conditions. Number 1 is fixed deposit, and number 2 is liquid mutual funds. You all are aware of fixed deposits, but when it comes to liquid mutual funds, there's a full video on my YouTube channel. Please go ahead and watch it. But let me give you 30 seconds crash course on liquid mutual fund right here. So liquid mutual funds is a debt instrument that invests in debt which is maturing within the 91 days. So the debt is given for a very short duration of time. That makes liquid mutual funds very, very safe as fixed deposit. Also, these debt are given to either government or banks or reputed companies which has high credit ratings. Therefore, the money is very safe. The default chance is very, very low, right? Therefore, liquid mutual funds are very, very safe. Second point that I want to make about liquid mutual funds is that they are absolutely having zero exit load, and there is no lock-in period as well. Therefore, you can also withdraw the money very quickly within 1 working days. In fact, some of the liquid funds you can withdraw up to 50,000 rupees within 30 minutes. Not even fixed deposit, you can get your money within 30 days, right? So these reasons make liquid fund a perfect candidate for parking your money into emergency funds. Now you might be wondering, why have I suggested fixed deposit and liquid fund both? The reason is simple. There have been few years where fixed deposit has given slightly better returns than liquid funds. So for example, in 2021, if you compare, liquid funds have given almost 3% annual returns, while fixed deposit would have given you 4 to 5% returns. But back in 2014, if you go and have a look at it, liquid fund used to give 10% returns annually, and fixed deposit used to give 8 to 9% of returns. So liquid funds at the time used to give better returns. Therefore, because of multiple conditions, some years FDs will do better and some years liquid funds will do better. Therefore, I am suggesting that you split your money into fixed deposit and liquid funds. Now comes the question, how should you split this money into these 2 categories? So my simple answer is that please put 50% in fixed deposit and please put 50% in liquid debt funds, right? So let us say that you have 6 lakhs of emergency fund that you want to build. 3 lakhs goes into FD, and please make sure you do 3 FDs. Please do multiple FDs, because you might not need to have all of your emergency fund broken down or needed at the same time, right? And you don't want to break a FD of 3 lakh rupees and then incur tax liabilities as well as premature penalties as well, right? So please make sure you split it into 3 FDs, let us say 3 lakh rupees, so 1 lakh each. And also, when it comes to liquid funds, please make sure you select, let us say 2 or 3 liquid mutual funds, because then you are able to withdraw money, which is right now the limit is 50,000 rupees. So let us say you put into 3 liquid mutual funds, 1 lakh each. Then you are able to withdraw 50,000 from each of these instantly within 30 minutes. You will have 1.5 lakh rupees within 30 minutes with you, and that is what really matters. Now I want to discuss 3 very, very important points regarding emergency funds with you. Number 1 is that please make sure every 2 years you review your emergency fund and you top it up depending on if your expenses have gone up, which it will in 2 years time. Because what happens is, what you don't want to do is you just do emergency fund planning and forget about it, because every year our expenses go up. We need to make sure that at least every 2 years we are topping up our emergency fund based on how much our expenses have gone up by. Point number 2 that I want to make is that please make sure that once you've used the emergency fund, God forbid, if you need the emergency fund, use it. But after using it, please make sure you restore it back, because emergency fund is not something that you build and use it and then forget about it. You use it and then you restore it. It's very, very important, right? And the third point that I want to make is that please make sure that you only use this fund in the cases of emergencies. It'll be very, very tempting. It'll be very hard for you to not use this money, but please make sure you forget this money, because this money doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the emergency that will happen, right? With these 3 points, I hope this video made a lot of sense. A simple request to you is now, please let me know in the comments any personal finance or investment related topics that you would like me to make videos on. I'll be more than happy to shoot videos as per your feedback. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments, because it keeps me going. And I hope you have a good day. I'll see you later.